What's up, everybody, and welcome to Rated Excellent. If somehow you found this, then welcome to my corner of the internet where I can talk about video games, movies, music, or whatever the fuck I feel like, really. And this week, with Halloween right on the horizon, I think it's like 2 days away, because I'm recording this on Sunday, which is the day the podcast goes out, I decided I'm going to talk about Halloween candy. And really, all I did was I just went to Google, typed in top 25 Halloween candy 2023, and this purewow.com ranking list is the first thing that came up, so that's what I'm going to go by. And I'm just going to go through this list, and hopefully I've had at least most of these. But before we get into that, just a couple of housekeeping things to talk about. The podcast will go live on Sunday on like all of your podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. It will not go on YouTube until the following Sunday. And then I've also got to work in the delay with the Patreon rewards as well. So probably by like episode 10, then the Patreon rewards will be in place where that episode will be available early, and then it'll be available on podcatchers on Sundays like it is currently, and then it will be available on YouTube the following Sunday. Also, if you're catching this on YouTube, and I believe in most of the podcast apps, somewhere in the description of the episode is now some affiliate links to things that I use. They're not sponsoring this, but it's stuff that I use. And if you want to support the channel or support the podcast as well as use the Patreon, then you can use those links to get products that I actually use. But like I said, they're not sponsored, so I don't want to say them out loud right now because I don't know if I legally can. But I know I can put the affiliate links down there, and anything that you get using that link does go to help the show or the channel in general. So now with all that out of the way, let's just kind of jump right into this list. So like I said, this is from purewow.com, and it is the best Halloween candy of all time, super scientifically ranked from trash to tasty. And this was published September 5th, 2023. Alright, number... Oh, they have 45, not 25. Okay, so... Alright, cool. Number 45 is strawberry hard candies. And I think we all know what these are. They're little red candies that are wrapped in a wrapper that looks like a green, red, and yellow or white strawberry. And I mean, that's just like probably the most basic ass Halloween candy that anybody could probably think of. It's probably amongst the ones that you're first gonna try to like trade away. Like, I'll give you 20 of these for one mini Snickers because nobody wants them. These are the candies that are still in the candy dish in like January. Number 44, bubblegum. Yeah, I mean that's pretty basic too. I mean, any kind of gum really is probably going to be in somebody's candy dish, especially like the randomly mixed up shit where they just kind of like grab 2 or 3 pieces and drop it in your bag. You probably at least one of those pieces is going to be bubblegum. 43, dots. Ugh. Or gumdrops. I don't really have anything to say about dots. I don't like them. If I ever got dots, these are probably just going in the trash. Junior Mints, 42. Honestly, I don't really remember getting Junior Mints as a kid. I guess that's more of like a new thing. Maybe. I do like mint chocolate. Like mint chocolate ice cream is probably amongst my top 5 favorite flavors. And I do enjoy like Andes mint chocolate, but I don't know if I've ever actually had a junior mint. Number 41. Oh, hot tamales. Is it like licorice type candy? I know a lot of kids can take it or leave it, but like when I was a kid, hot tamales, like this was like what you hope to get. I think the not spicy, of course, it was cinnamon. It wasn't really spicy, it was cinnamon. But I think the not spicy version was Mike and Ike's or something like that, and it was just like generic fruity licorice. I didn't really like Mike and Ike's, but hot tamales, fucking all over that. Lemon Heads, number 40. Lemon Heads kind of grew on me. Like, I didn't like them when I first got them, especially not like the full-size ones, but like the mini gummy Lemon Heads. Those are pretty good. Okay, now we're actually getting into like some real legit candy. Number 39, Three Musketeers, the first chocolate bar on the list. I actually like Three Musketeers. The fact that like there's no like hard nuts or anything in it, or cookie crisp, anything, it's just chocolate and like fluffy nougat, and that actually really appeals to me because when I was a kid, I had braces. And fucking braces suck. So, like, if I had anything with, like, peanuts in it, it would just kind of, like, hurt to eat it. So, I kind of gravitated to Three Musketeers and Zero Bars and Reese's. Can't fucking live without Reese's. I'm sure Reese's will make an appearance on this list way closer to the top. Number 38, Payday. So, the exact opposite of what we were just talking about. This is just peanuts and was it caramel or toffee or something, but it's a sticky bar wrapped in peanuts. So like I said, this is the exact opposite of a Three Musketeers bar as far as the texture. It's not light and fluffy, it's sticky and gooey and crunchy, and like you gotta work at it to chew this thing up. Number 37, Baby Ruth. Okay, so this is kind of like an in-between the Payday and the Three Musketeers got together and they made Baby Ruth. They had a Baby Ruth. I have no idea what the connection is with the Baby Ruth baseball player, if there even is one, but chocolate bar with peanuts and nougat. I mean, it's essentially just a Snickers bar, which I'm also sure is somewhere on here. Number 36, Nestle Crunch Bars. I actually don't hate Nestle Crunch. Again, with the braces, I couldn't really handle hard stuff. So, like, the Crunch Bar gave the, I guess, like, the mental appeal of something with, like, peanuts or something in it that you were eating, but it was just, like, Rice Krispies in it. So it made the sound, but it didn't have the actual texture of, like, I have to gnaw through this peanut to eat it. I could get down with some Crunch Bars. Oh, Whoppers. I fucking love Whoppers. Or just any kind of malted milk ball. I don't know what it is about it, but, like, the chocolate and the I don't even know what a malted milk ball actually is. But I know that we used to have a milkshake shop that you could have a milkshake or you could have a malt. And like I said, I don't actually know what the difference is, but I always opted to go for a malt because I just liked the way it tasted. It tasted different than a milkshake. And I can still kind of get that experience through malted milk ball candies. Oh, fuck, Mr. Goodbar. So, this is like the exception to my rule for, like, not having actual peanuts in it. A Mr. Goodbar was, like, this would be, like, my treat yourself thing. Like, yeah, the peanuts were not comfortable with the braces, but Mr. Goodbar, they were ground up, or like chopped up, diced up. I don't know what they were, but they were smaller. So it was a lot less headache, and like the chocolate and the peanuts, they just really work together. And I don't know, it's just something about a Mr. Goodbar that I'll take it over anything else with peanuts in it. Alright, number 33, Blow Pops. No, just no. I can't stand Blow Pops, Tootsie Roll, suckers, lollipops, anything in the sucker variety is just not for me. Now, with the exception of Dum Dums. I kind of like Dum Dums. But they don't have anything like in the middle of them that you could just like rip a Dum Dum off of the stick, and at that point it's just a hard candy. Like you tuck it in the cheek of your mouth and just kind of suck on it like a mint or a caramel, anything else like that, and you don't have to worry about like the fucking bubble gum or anything like that in it. Number 32, bottle caps. I like bottle caps. I mean, they're just chalky candy that is supposed to taste like something. There is another soda-like candy that I have no idea if it'll be on this list, but if it is, I feel is far superior. If it's not, it'll probably be in my honorable mentions that do not show up on the list. But bottle caps, I can take them or leave them. I mean, they're just chalky candy. Same as the next, number 31, Sweet Tarts. I'll eat them if they're there, but I mean, they're not what I'm going for first. They're the bottom of the bag, leftover candy after everything else good is gone. This is fucking surprising. Number 30, they have Snickers. So I figured Snickers had to be in the top 10. But then again, I mean, I guess Snickers are kind of available all year long, and maybe that is playing something into this. And some of these candies, like, they really only make an appearance getting close to Halloween. But still, I figured Snickers would be way higher up on the list. If I were making this list, they'd be higher on mine. And again, chocolate with peanuts in it, not really my thing, but they'd be up higher. Number 29, Caramel Apple Pops. Number 1, never even heard of these things. Number 2, just like the Blow Pops, it's a sucker. It's not my thing. Number 28, Jolly Ranchers. Yeah, that's probably about where I would put Jolly Ranchers too. Most Jolly Ranchers have a really good flavor. If they start to get a little melty, then you know, they kind of, they get like a weird plasticky, chemically taste after they started to melt a little bit. But then again, like, you drop them in a glass of like sweet tea, like the blue raspberry one, and then you got a raspberry flavored sweet tea. That's pretty good. You can also do it with some adult beverages as well. What, really? Oh, wow, this is a weird list. Number 27 just has generic bog standard Hershey's chocolate bar. I'm not gonna lie, I figured Hershey's chocolate bar, just plain, nothing added in, I figured that was definitely top 5. But I mean, what can you say about Hershey's just generic chocolate bar? It's just plain chocolate. I'm not really a big chocolate guy to begin with, but I do enjoy a Hershey's chocolate bar. Number 26. Why do these even exist? Smarties, or at least as far as I know, Canada and possibly the UK calls these rockets, I believe. But it's just the kind of pastel colored, chalky, nothing really. I mean, these just kind of remind me of like Tylenol pills that kids take. They're not actually medicine, but that's what I always thought of them when, oh, that's all I've got left is the strawberry candies and Smarties and I guess I'll eat the Smarties. The bag shows that they have flavor, but I don't believe they have flavors at all. I think it's just sugary chalk. That's the flavor. Number 25. All right, I can get down with this one. Mounds is coconut in a chocolate bar, very much like the Three Musketeers, except it replaced the nougat with coconut shaving. I know a lot of people don't like coconut, but if you like coconut, Mounds is probably pretty high up on your list. 25. Me personally, I'd probably have it somewhere between 10 and 15, if not a little higher. But Mounds, I can get down with Mounds. Now, the counterpart, Almond Joy, I don't like almonds. So, that immediately sends Almond Joy to the bottom of the list. Number 24, Rolos. I actually just had Rolos for the first time earlier this year, which is surprising because I love caramel. But I just never knew they existed. I didn't know what they were. I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I associated Rolos with an old commercial from the 90s, maybe early 2000s for cough drops called Ricola. It was like this Swedish yodeling guy. It was like Ricola. And I think mentally I just combined Ricola and Rolos to like be the same thing, so I had no interest in them. Chocolate, little caramel. I mean, they're like little Hershey's Kisses, but they're filled with caramel. And they're not, I don't think they're made by Hershey's. But they're pretty good. Not really my first choice. I think there's better chocolate caramel candy out there. But, you know, if I'm in a gas station and I see a little pack of Rolos, and that's the only chocolate caramel thing that they offer, and I've got a hankering for it, I'd definitely pick up some Rolos. Number 23, Tootsie Fruit Chews. Okay, so Tootsie Rolls, but fruit flavors. I very vaguely remember orange Tootsie Rolls, and that's it. I guess maybe these other flavors, looks like they got cherry, lime, lemon, grape, apple. Maybe they've added those since I was a kid, but I remember orange ones, and I just thought that it was like, wow, this is a worse version of Laffy Taffy. Number 22 is the original Tootsie Rolls. All right, again, I'm not really a big chocolate guy. Tootsie Rolls, I can take them or leave them. I do feel that like the miniature Tootsie Rolls are like a good size for me, because again, I don't really like chocolate all that much. So like one mini Tootsie Roll is about the amount that I feel is good for me. Like I can eat one, maybe two of those, and be like, all right, I've had my chocolate fix for like the whole month. Number 21, Chewy Spree. So I think I don't ever remember them being called Sprees, but I know that me and the kids in my neighborhood, I think we pretty much associated these as better Sweet Tarts or better Smarties. Which, I mean, that's essentially all they are, is they're just hard candy with a chewy center, but it's essentially the same flavor as Sweet Tarts. And I think the chewy center is a non-hard tablet version of a Smarties. Number 20, Sugar Babies. I'm really blanking on what a Sugar Baby is. Just based off of the picture, it just looks like a little chocolate M&M. I don't know. Candy coated. Oh, there's caramel in it. Okay, so it's like chocolate and caramel blended together to make like an M&M looking shaped thing, or like a little mini Easter egg, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had Sugar Babies, or if I did, they must have been called something else and looked different, because I don't remember that packaging at all. All right, but that was number 20. Now we're getting into what should be the best tasting stuff of all time. And number 19 You got Starburst. Specifically, they're saying red, yellow, and orange Starburst. Pink is missing, so that tells me that pink is somewhere else on this list. Honestly, if it's not a pink Starburst, or like the tropical flavor Starburst, or what's the other one? Berry Blast Starburst, I think. The only other one besides pink in the original flavor I like is red. I don't really like orange or yellow. Oh, here we are, number 18, the Almond Joy. Nope, bottom of the list. It's the same thing as a Mounds bar, but it's got a big fat almond on top of it. And just because I don't like almonds. In fact, the person that made this, his comment for this is, real talk, I would prefer Almond Joys if they were made with 0 almonds. But that's a Mounds bar. But apparently people really like it with the almond. The almonds just aren't for me. Moving on, number 17. Trolley Sour Bright Crawlers. So sour worms. I'm a little surprised sour worms are this high up on the list. I'd probably put them like back in the high 20s, early 30s. But I like sour worms, or sour octopus, or whatever the specific shape is. I like them. I could eat like 1 or 2 of the little mini trick-or-treat size pouches and be okay. I think there's only like 4 or 5 worms in each one. I mean, yeah, they're good for what they are. Number 16, Skittles. Taste the rainbow. They just have a picture of the original flavor. I don't know if they're including all the flavors. It's much like Starburst. They've got tropical flavors and berry blasted, and I think they have like a ice cream smoothie flavor bag now, and sour Skittles are fucking great. But I mean, I can get down with some regular Skittles. Yeah, Skittles are good. Like, this was definitely like, oh, you got fucking Skittles? Here, let me trade you 20 of these strawberry candies for a bag of Skittles. I mean, that's real shit right there. Oh, 15. I forgot all about these Airheads. So, essentially, like, slightly less chewy taffy in, like, a long, flat stick. Of course, the white ones were the best because it's the mystery flavor. Which I never understood. Is the mystery flavor just any flavor? Like, could it be a cherry that's white instead of red? And, apple, but it's white instead of green? Or does the mystery flavor have its own flavor completely separate from everything else? I know this year's Mountain Voodoo flavor is supposed to be Mystery Airhead, or it wasn't even Mystery Airhead, but the actual flavor is Cherry Airheads, but the Mountain Dew is white, so is that a white Mystery Airhead? And that means that the white Mystery Airheads are cherry flavor, or can it be any flavor, or is it its own flavor? I don't know. I'm looping around on this again, and yeah, I've just never known what flavor white is, but you either go with the white mystery one or, blue raspberry. Come on. 14, Nerds. Can't stand Nerds. I don't understand Nerds. They're just little sugar rocks, essentially. To me, they don't taste like anything. They hurt my teeth. Even to this day, without the braces, they hurt my teeth. I just don't like Nerds. Number 13, M&M's. I can't believe M&M's isn't in the top 10. Wow, what the fuck is in the top 10? I like M&M's. I like plain M&M's. I don't really like peanut M&M's. I like the peanut butter M&M's. I like the... I don't think they make them anymore, but they were crunchy M&M's. They had Rice Krispies in them. I think they came in a blue bag. Those were good. Yeah, I can get down with M&M's. Number 12, Milk Duds. So, another chocolate caramel. Actually, this one's harder than Rolos. Rolos were much softer than Milk Duds. But maybe that's, again, why I never really associated Rolos with anything. It's because I really, really like Milk Duds. But, I mean, they're just generic chocolate caramel. And you chew them for fucking ever. Number 11, Twizzlers. Nope, don't like Twizzlers. I know there was a thing where, like, you bite the ends off of a Twizzler, and it's like a straw, and then you drink, like, a Coke or a Dr. Pepper through it, and it kind of flavors the Coke. It never worked for me. I don't know. It didn't taste any different whatsoever, and I don't like the taste of Twizzlers anyway. I know they're not exactly licorice, but they're close enough to licorice that it counts for me. Alright, here we are, cracking the top 10, Kit Kats. Alright, your bog standard Kit Kat fucking sucks. Now, all these, like, fancy Japanese flavored Kit Kats, I could get down with all that, like blueberry pie Kit Kat and cherry blossom and rosewater Kit Kat. All that stuff is really good, but like your bog standard chocolate Kit Kat, I don't like it. I just don't like it. Sorry. Now, I do know that we've got, I think it's called Kit Kat Duo, and it's mint chocolate Kit Kat. I really like those. Seriously? Oh, this would have been like my number 2 or 3. But at number 9, they've got Reese's Fast Break, which is like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but it's like a full-size chocolate bar. And it's just so fucking good. Like, I can't believe this should have been top 5, no doubt. I mean, I'm glad it's in the top 10, but this should have been top 5. I love Reese's Fast Breaks. So what is left to be on the list? They better not have fucking candy corn as number 1. Okay, number 8, Hershey's Cookies and Cream Bar. I can get down with that. The cookies and cream bar, I mean, just think an Oreo, but as a Hershey's bar. Because that's essentially what it is. The only bad thing about cookies and cream bar, at least, I don't know if they've changed it, but when I was a kid, you couldn't eat the whole thing all at once like it was a full-size bar. Nobody could eat the whole thing because it was so rich that, like, I guess it would, all the sugar and stuff would have an effect in the acid in your stomach, and everybody would just throw up if they ate the whole thing. It was rough, but so good. And then, little hack, break off a couple of them and drop them into a glass of milk, and then get like a spoon and like break it up and crunch it up and stir it up, and all the little cookies and cream pieces are mixed in the milk. That shit's fucking amazing. All right, number 7. Here they are. Pink Starburst. I mean, I don't think there's anything to be said about Pink Starburst. I think everybody enjoys Pink Starburst. I can't think of a single person that I know that, hey, you want a Starburst? And then you offer them pink or any other color, they're going to grab pink. I mean, there's probably a reason why they have Starburst all pink bag now. I mean, I think they've had that for a while, but there's a reason for that. Alright, well, this list is bullshit. At number 6, they have fucking candy corn. Candy corn is just, I don't even know. I like candy corn as like a topping. Like, if you put like candy corn on like a fudge brownie, it works. Or even on like an ice cream sundae, it works. But candy corn by itself is not fucking good at all. Like it's fun to play with. You know, you kind of like wedge it up on your teeth, and I got vampire fangs, and you know that was cool. But I mean, candy corn just by itself is not. It's a topping. It's not a candy. Moving on. Number 5, Butterfinger. I think I've probably only had 5 Butterfingers in my entire life. Because, again, braces with the teeth. Butterfinger is like peanut brittle is not really the right way to describe it, but it's like some type of peanut butter wafer that, like, when you start chewing it, it essentially becomes like peanut glue. And yeah, I can see where the appeal is good, but to me, if you're gonna go chocolate and peanut butter, you gotta go Reese's. Number 4, Sour Patch Kids. I mean, I really like Sour Patch Kids, but this is like the sour gummy worms. I would kind of lump these together, like sour gummy worms, Sour Patch Kids. To me, they're pretty much the same thing. Now, like regular gummy worms and Sour Patch Kids, then yeah, I can differentiate that. But they're both just sour gummies, really. It's not really. I think they're even the same flavor based on the color. All right, number 3. Here we go again with Reese's. Reese's Take 5 bar, which I didn't actually know that Reese's made the Take 5. I haven't seen Take 5 in probably 10 years. And back then it was just called the Take 5 bar. But it's like a pretzel that's covered with nougat and then peanuts and I think caramel and then topped with chocolate. It's alright. I definitely would not be in my top 3. Alright, number 2. Twix. I can get down with Twix. The chocolate, caramel, and like the cookie. It's not a wafer, it's cookie. Cookie is about as hard as I could go without it hurting my teeth when I had braces. And, you know, just throwing it out there, I'm a left Twix guy. Twix, they'd definitely be in my top 5. Not my number 2, but in the top 5. So what the hell is number? Hell yeah. So this would pretty much be my number 1 as well. You can't fucking beat Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Number 1, hands down, no argument. It is what it is. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is the holy grail of trick-or-treating. And then, like, you find out a house is giving out, like, the whole, like, actual packs, like the dual packs or even the king-size packs, not the miniatures. And, I mean, you gotta, like, you know, swap costumes with me. We're going for another round. You gotta keep hitting that house. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, best fucking Halloween candy, best fucking chocolate bar, disc, whatever it would be considered. There's no argument. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup is the best. So I was actually kind of surprised that I've had a lot of the candies on this list. I was not really a big candy guy. Even as a kid, I wasn't really massively big into sweets. I didn't really have a lot of these probably until I was a teenager. You know, in a gas station, just got my license. You know, oh, let me get what's a Red Bull? Oh, I'll try one of these. And what's a Reese's Fast Break? That sounds pretty good. Let me try one of those. That's how I probably tried most of these. And then, like, let's be honest, some of the, what I would consider reject candy, bottom of the bag candy, that was from trick-or-treating in, like, old people neighborhoods. So that was probably candy that they enjoyed. So, the little kids will love this. We did it. If you were the weird kid in the group that liked Smarties, by all means, take all my Smarties, give me your Reese's. Yeah, I don't think there was actually anything on this list that wasn't covered that, like, I could throw in as an honorable mention. Except maybe Reese's Pieces. Where were Reese's Pieces? and the Reese's Outrageous bar, which was essentially just a Reese's Fast Break, but it had Reese's Pieces in it, and it was fucking great. But I guess, I mean, between the Reese's Fast Break and the Take 5 and the actual Reese's Cups, I guess that pretty much covered all the bases for Reese's. I mean, I think it's a pretty solid list. Some of the stuff definitely questionable, like Snickers way back at number 30 or something like that. Oh, the soda flavored candy that I was going to mention besides bottle caps, because I was scrolling back through, is I have no idea what they're called, but they were like these little wax soda bottles, and they had like soda syrup in them, and you'd bite the wax top off and you'd suck the syrup out, and then you could actually like chew on the wax for a little while, kind of like gum. But yeah, those were good. And I remember like the root beer one specifically came in like a little like Donkey Kong looking barrel. It was fucking great. I mean, some of that's just kind of like, oh, it looks cool appeal. You know, if if you're on YouTube, let me know in the comments what your favorite candies are. If there's a way to do comments on podcasts, through Spotify or Apple, whatever, let me know there. But outside of that, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Rated Excellent. Again, if you're catching this on YouTube or in the description of the episodes, there should now be a link to the Patreon and some affiliate links. If you want to help support the show, that'd be great. You don't have to. I don't have any plans to put any specific bonus podcast behind the paywall, at least not at the moment. But if you want to support, I would vastly appreciate it. But aside from that, y'all hear it at the end of every episode so far. You can catch this on YouTube at youtube.com/@ratedexcellent. Occasionally I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/ratedexcellent. And that's pretty much it now. I mean, I really want to put a lot of focus into the podcast, so that's pretty much where all of my effort is going at the moment. But I'm not giving up on games completely. They've just kind of taken a somewhat backseat at the moment. But yeah, so this episode actually needs to be edited and uploaded and published in like the next 2.5 hours. So I need to stop, and I also want to record a second one today, so I'm a little bit ahead for once. So there's nothing else to say. Let's stop.